Hey guys, and welcome back to this series where we try to take Willem II, a fallen Dutch giant, back to their former glory. We're doing this by only bringing in Dutch-born players to make the challenge a little bit tougher for ourselves. Before we start, I want to thank you all for the support on the previous videos. Thank you also for the comments that you left of what you want to see in future episodes. I'm going to try to work on that. Now, if you want to see more of what I'm bringing in the future, please consider subscribing and leaving another like. That really helps me out. Anyway, without any further ado, let's jump into how we did in this 4th season with Willem II. As always, we are starting off with the Eredivisie and how we did in that competition. You can see here that we started off pretty nicely with 7 wins out of our first 8 games, but then we had 1 loss, and 1 loss didn't really matter. But as you can see, the further we came into the season, we suddenly lost 4 out of 5 games against opponents that we should be able to beat in NEC Nijmegen, ADO Den Haag and Utrecht. The rest of the season we did pretty well, only losing 6 or 7 games. But of course, it's a little bit worse than the previous seasons. So did we do good enough for the Champions League? The answer is unfortunately not. We missed out on 1 point, got beaten by Ajax on 1 point and missing out Champions League because of that. Of course, in 3rd place you're still gonna have to go through all the other playoffs to get into the Champions League, but it's at least a little bit more money. We are now going to play again in the Europa League, which is not too bad. It's just a lot less revenue that you're bringing in. That's going to mean that we have a lower transfer budget, I reckon, for next year to bring in some better players. However, let's hope that our players performed this well that they are now wanted by other clubs and that we can sell some for some pretty good profit. Because of course, we also played in the Europa League again last season, so let's see how we did there. I would say we exceeded expectations in the Europa League this season. We got 5 wins over Sturm Graz, Rennes, AS Roma, Aberdeen and Faro Constanta, the Romanian side. We then drew 2 games, one at home against AS Monaco, very impressive, and one against Basel, and unfortunately lost against Adana, the Turkish side. It did however mean that we came on 17 points, which is quite impressive, finishing over on Man United, Red Bull Leipzig, but also Galatasaray, AZ, the other Dutch club, so I think we did pretty well. However, there's still a lot of big teams in this competition, so let's see who we got for the round of 16. Unfortunately, we were lucky in the draw, drawing Manchester United. First game away from home at Old Trafford. Inacio heads it to Rafael and he puts it in. Then, second goal from United side, Rashford on the ball, passing it to Højlund, making it through. Our defenders couldn't keep up and he shoots it past Owusu Oduro, resulting in a 2-0 loss. However, nothing was really lost yet. We were playing them at home still, and with a 2-0 victory we could still do some damage. However, if you make mistakes like this, look, where's our defense? Mino is just able to pass the ball to Rashford, who is not offside since he's still in his own half, and look how free this is. Rashford went on goal, scored the only goal of the game, past Owusu Oduro, and we unfortunately also lost at home. However, I don't see the Europa League run as a failure. We did insanely good in the league phase, just got a little bit unlucky with a draw in the knockouts, but next year we're gonna give it another run and let's hope that we can at least reach the semi-finals. Last but not least, of course, the Dutch Cup. We had to play Twente in the second round, which is a very hard round to play in, beating them 1-2, which is very good. They are a very good team in the Eredivisie. Then, in the third round, we had to play Heracles Almelo, who also are in the Eredivisie. Beating them 4-2 is not bad, that is a very good score. Quarterfinal reached and we had to play Sparta Rotterdam. We almost lost that game, but unfortunately we came back from a 1-0 victory, beating them 1-3. And that meant that we were through to the semi-finals, in which we would face PSV Eindhoven, arguably one of the best teams in this save in the Netherlands at this moment. If we were to beat a team like PSV, we really had to bring our A game. However, if PSV is fielding players like Golovin, Kovacic and Noah Lang, it's going to be a very tough game. As you can see, the last one I mentioned, Noah Lang scored the 0-1. After that we had plenty of chances, we were in the game, but of course we are not playing at home. The PSV stadium has a great atmosphere, and as you can see, 10 minutes before time, PSV was gonna make it 2-0. Iro Paxao got the ball from Obispo and just put it in after Owusu Oduro. A bit of a shame, but if you look at the ratings of our players, we really didn't do that bad. Of course, our XG was very low, we were playing away from home and we were playing against a very good team. It's not excuses, I'm just saying next year we can really try to improve the team, and let's see if we can actually win the Dutch Cup once again. Luckily, the board agrees with us and is giving us 15 million to spend on new players coming in. Also, a wage budget of 180k is a lot of money, with 40k still left in the budget. We're going to see which players are potentially going to leave us or potentially are coming in, but 50 million is a nice chunk of money which you can spend on players to hopefully next time get those Champions League spots. If you look at it logically, you would say that we just need a little bit of money for 2 more points to actually reach the Champions League. Anyway, that's going to be the goal. We're going to make a lot more signings, but on the way, I'm also going to try to improve the club a little bit more. What do I mean by improving the club? Well, we can make some board requests. So let's request the board to improve our training and youth facilities to make the club a lot better, and let's also see if we can increase the amount of coaches that we want. As you can see here, we can't request for more coaches for our main team, but we can request more physios. I'm going to do this off cooldown, so once I can make more board requests I will do, to see if we can really improve the amount of staff that we have into our team. Anyway, I'll let you know what the board says about this, and I'll let you know if we actually can get those improvements that we seek. Lastly, before we're taking a look which players we want to bring in, let's take a look at how the players performed. As you can see, Ringo Meerveld getting another 22 goals and 10 assists this season, with Asmel Kabia also getting 21 goals. As for assist charge, you also see that Brent Melis, the youngster that we gave some starting chances, got 7 goals and 10 assists, which really isn't too bad if you look at it. Pascal van der Meer also performed very well, the youngster, coming in with almost 17 appearances, 3 goals and 3 assists in those appearances is really good, so maybe he does deserve a chance for the next season. When it comes to the contracts, we are looking pretty good. As you can see, Mats Sanchez is retiring and really didn't play a lot for us this season. 9 appearances with 0 goals and 0 assists. Jaden Houtriet, 25 years old, never really good enough for our first team. Here he was kind of a first team player, but not really. Only 2 appearances this season, so we will just let him go. And then we have 2 guys with expiring contracts next year. Of course, Pascal van der Meer definitely is going to get a new contract. A very nice youngster to watch. And Amber Al-Ghazi, he's now 32 years old. He was pretty good for us in those first couple of seasons, but as you can see, he is really slowing down for the level that we need him to play. So what will probably happen is we will not extend his contract, see if we can sell him, because his wages are pretty high. He's the 4th highest earner in the team. So let's see what kind of moves we can make. I will be back at the end of the transfer window to show you all the exciting new guys that we have brought in. See you in a blip. Quick status update about our requests. We are getting more physios, however the training facilities and youth facilities have been rejected. That's probably because we're moving into that new 23k stadium and we currently don't really have the money to improve the youth and training facilities even more. That has been a very important transfer window. We have made some insane sales and we have brought in some insane players to replace them. We have played 5 games in the Eredivisie so far, winning 4 of them and losing just the one against Feyenoord. So once again, really good. Well, without any further ado, let's jump straight into which players have left the club and which players we have managed to bring in. Let's start off with the departures that have happened in this transfer window but are listed in the one from the last season. We have 5 which are going out, 2 which are youngsters, so not very important, and 3 which are important. Jens Jacobs has left the club for 4 million, brought him in for 2.6, played quite a lot, more of a backup player, and he was quite good for us, but I found an insane replacement, so sold him on for 4 million. Also Tyrese Asante, sold him for 8.5 million to Tenerife in the Spanish First Division. He was alright, he didn't do too good for us, but he was a backup last season, sold him on for 8.5, like I said before. That is very nice. Then the last sale that was registered in the last season, El Yacoubi brought this guy in. I think in our first ever season he did insanely well in all of those seasons, but then he got older, he didn't play that much anymore, so I was figuring let's just move him on for 500,000. He went to the second Bundesliga and I will thank him for his services because he was one of the guys that helped us perform well in the Eredivisie. Then as for transfers that we have already brought in, there are, let's see, 6 to mention. First of them, Piet Buijs, a very insane wonder kid, brought him in for I think around 5 million. He's going straight into the first 11. Look at that potential ability. I hope this guy will perform and evolve very nicely. The same goes for Nguyen Tan Quan, also a wonder kid, brought him in because I needed someone new for that center back position. I wanted some youth, so I thought, hey, why not spend 5 million on that guy. Also bringing in, of course, some free transfers. Branko van der Bomen, a very seasoned pro, coming in from Ajax just on a free, together with Sven van den Beek. Not very good, not very bad. This guy doesn't have the physicals to really do a lot. However, he's going to be just a backup. Then 2 more that got registered in last season's transfers. 15 million. Yes, we spent 50 million on Shea Bukamp. This guy is determined, 19 determination, good technicals, could still improve, but physically already a beast. Only 19 years old, so I figured I have the millions laying around. Let's just spend it all on Shea Bukamp. 16 technique, 12 work rate, and that 19 determination. Absolutely insane. Then another less exciting transfer. Dean James, another backup center back. Of course, we let go of Asante, Jacobs, and El Yacoubi, so we needed someone else to replace him. Dean James is going to be our backup left back. We had 4 more outgoing transfers. Most noteworthy, Anwar Al-Ghazi. He really helped us to perform well in the Eredivisie the first couple of seasons and Keukenkampioen division. He was just a backup for us last season, so managed to just sell him on. Milan Smith, the guy that we brought in for 1.4 million, left for 750k, didn't get any playing time, wanted to leave and didn't want to keep him around. Thijs Oosting, the guy who's always been a starter for us, just didn't perform that well in the big games last season, so I decided to move him on, loan him out, and hopefully he will get sold. And then the biggest sale of them all, Louis Schouten, left for 30 million to the Wolves. Sold him, bought him in for 6.5 million. Performed very well for us as a defensive midfielder, and then 30.5 million Wolves would spend on him. I'm fine by letting this guy go. That 30 million I could reinvest in some very good other players who had hopefully a lot more potential in the future. Those players were Mitchell Harlaux. Look at this guy. He is absolutely insane. 20 determination. His potential ability is a little bit low, but I reckon with this determination he is going to really get there. Driven personality, going straight into the first team, spending big on this guy. 17.5 million, 7.5 million in extra add-ons, but I think this guy is the real deal. So let's hope and pray that he will really bring us forward. I also brought in another youngster, Maarten van der Veen. Don't expect a lot from him, but I'm also gonna put him in the first team. Also driven personality, 80 determination, very good mentals, okay technicals already for that defensive midfield position, and physically just alright. However, last but not least, I also brought in another backup striker since Milan Smith was leaving, Vout Fofana. I know him because I'm a big PSV fan. Brought him in on a free, physically quite alright, technically quite alright, mentally could still improve, but he is only a backup here anyway, so very happy with his signing. And those are all the signings that I've actually made in this transfer window. Yes, it's been a lot. You might wonder what the team now looks like. Well, nothing changed in the goalkeeping department, still Owusu Oduro on the starting spot, then Piet Buijs on the right back position, very happy to have him in, Gardenier still there, and also Nguyen Tan, the youngster, with his first team spot. Casarillo, nothing changed for him, still on the left back position, but two new faces as the defensive midfielders, Maarten van der Ven, the youngster, and also Mitchell Harlaux as they are defensive midfielders. Melis, the insane youngster, still on the right spot, the new youngster Boekamp on the left spot, and Van der Meer, our other youngster, as our advanced midfielder. Gabia is gonna still lead the lines, the insane speedster who scored 17 goals in the Eredivisie last season. That does mean we have a pretty stacked bench. We still have Sandler and Santiago on the bench, together as Branko van der Bome and of course Ringo Meerveld on the bench, who did insanely good for us the couple of seasons, but we are giving a start to the youngsters. That means that I think on average our team is 21 years old. Let's hope that we still perform good in the Eredivisie this season, but I have some doubts that we might perform a little bit worse in the coming season to insanely outperform in the seasons after with all these insane youngsters. Lastly, I wanted to show you our schedule in the Europa League. You'll see it's tough, it's not undoable. We should be able to win at least half of them, and I hope these youngsters can really outperform. Anyway, that's going to be it for this episode. I do hope you've enjoyed. If you've enjoyed, please don't forget to leave a like and subscribe down below. If you have any comments of what you'd like to see next or what you would like to see more, please also leave them in the comments down below. I want to thank you once again for watching. I hope you've enjoyed, and I hope to see you in the next episode.